So North Carolina, we were talking yesterday, they had a primary, and the gubernatorial candidate for the Republican Party is a man that is so problematic that I can't even believe that he got so many votes. And there's a lot of black people that are going to vote for him because he's a Christian, you know.
People like power.
Okay, I'm gonna play a short clip from Mark Robinson. He said this about women.
A few days ago and asked her, what America are we going back to make America great again? The one where women couldn't vote or black people were swinging from trees? I would say to him, if I was standing in front of him, I absolutely want to go back to the America where women couldn't vote. Do you know why? Because in those days, we had people who fought for real social change, and they were called Republicans.
What the heck? So I'll say this out loud.
I also think in the timeline, the Republicans during the suffrage movement they were
they weren't the same Republicans. He doesn't know anything about the Southern strategy. He's not very smart, but he's very politically astute. So because here's what I want to say that maybe no one's tapped into. This groundswell of support that Trump seems to be having, that a lot of y'all think that he doesn't have among black men. This man said out of his mouth something that I think y'all are missing. So I'm going to bring up Kevin Samuel. I'm going to bring up the Passport Bros. And I'm going to bring up this notion that we want to go back to a time when women couldn't vote, because what's also being said there, I don't want to have women telling me anything. I don't want them in the pulpit. I don't want them leading me in politically. I don't want them as police officers. I don't want to see women do anything but what did Wade say? Make me a sandwich. What did he say to Fonnie Willis? I want you in the kitchen. I want you pregnant.
Making me a sandwich.
Yes. And I want to be able to do whatever I want with your body without I don't need the police and nobody being involved. If I want to take it, I want to be able to take it. So the quiet part that's not being said, Kyla and everyone listening, is, I want that. Mm-hmm. I want that. And it's not something they're going to say out loud, but they're going to say it in the voting booth. 866-801-8255. That's what's really on the ballot. Mm-hmm. It's not Trump. It's what he represents in this kind of like, I get to do whatever I want. And I'm so sick of feeling less than a man because these women they got degrees and they make me feel like they don't need me. And so,
everybody loves socialism when they're receiving something. Everybody hates socialism when they think that they have the opportunity to be the one in power, right? And so what you see is, like, I had made a tweet about, I said, a lot of times, you hear the conversation that Black women are somehow tricked or fooled by white feminists. And it's interesting because how many Black men don't see that they're mirroring white patriarchy. And of course, I got hell for it. And, people brought up an old joke and I was like, okay, I mean,
what was this old joke?
I said, I think I'm going to start going back to dating white guys so I can fix white supremacy from my insides. I mean, the inside. And it wasn't a joke. I said, I self-corrected who self-corrects in their own tweet when it's not a joke? And my screen name at the time was Vladimir Puta. So I was like, this is the person you want to take seriously? I don't know. I mean, but I think a lot of times people, they don't. The interesting thing about Black men is Black men are very much an oppressed class. But the problem is, just because you are oppressed does not mean you don't have the opportunity to oppress others. And so they don't see that. And, it's like, oh, well, Black men are, very much are, right? Like even the small conversations of like last names, right? Like, oh, she got to have my last name. And because you don't see her as an equal. You don't see her identity as just as important to her as yours is to you. You see her as being absorbed by you. And so, we have these like conversations, and a lot of it is men want to hold on to the entitlement of having somebody do for them all the time. What you're seeing is like, oh, you single and no.
That's why you ain't got a man.
Right. Single women are not miserable. Like they're not, right? Like, oh no, I can take another trip. I can take another, you know what I'm saying?
Stop
Like,
saying,
oh.
Kyla, be quiet. Stop saying that. Seth
Right.
Rogen got in so much trouble this week on Twitter because he said he's so happy to wake up, smoke a doobie, be in the bed with his wife naked, and not have any kids. Oh my God, did he get trolled for saying, I'm so happy I don't have children? Like, people trolled him. I was like, so you got to keep your happiness to yourself. Don't say that.
Right.
Stop it.
Right.
Stop
But
it.
again, the narrative is that, you know, women are only important compared to what comes in or who comes in and out of their vaginas, right? Like that's how important you are. Is are you married and do you have children? Because that is what you were here for. And for a lot of single women, it's just like, because they have money and they are educated, they don't have to depend on somebody. And when you depend on somebody, that person has the ability to lord that power over you. And so what a lot of men are seeing is, it's nothing is wrong with me. It's just I need my peace, and you're not providing peace. You're providing dick and problems. And
866-801-8255. And it becomes even more. It's like I start off the show talking about, you know, aspirations, being a patriot, and no moral, no due north, because it requires too much of a person to. So I rather, you know, devolve into let's do it this way, because the other way requires a lot of me, right?
Yeah,
I have to actually work on myself.
yeah.
To your point, Kyla, Jenee, if you're going to be in a relationship with someone who is evolving and whole and complete and doesn't need your money, then that means you have to be something that provides something for that person to be in relationship with you. Just as you know, the dick part. Yes. That said, you know, there's so much more in a relationship, which is why I love that Sierra and Russell Wilson did not have relations until they got married. They waited a whole year so that they can get to be in each other's lives as human beings, not as, you know, sexual, you know, because all of that can be confusing. You know, lust and love are two different things. 866-801-8255. And fortunately, in a marriage, sex, if sex is 99% of your marriage, then there's another problem altogether. Most of your marriage is the whole, you know, the living together and the making decisions and the bills and the trips and all, it's everything that's day to day, your jobs and how you guys support each other. That becomes complicated.